college entrance examination. I intentionally got all the bonus questions right, just to stay away from the school beauty Leo Ruan. After leaving the examination hall, Leo Ruan's friends, Shi Luo and Jiang Xiaoyu, Leo Ruan said he didn't do well on the exam. You remember to hand in a blank paper this afternoon, otherwise you won't have a chance to lick him in the future. After saying that, there was a burst of loud laughter. I looked at Leo Ruan, who had a face of disgust, nodded, and said I knew, but in my heart I was thinking, who loves to be this licking dog? I won't serve you anymore. I turned around and called the butler, immediately canceling all financial aid to her family and kicking their whole family out. Leo Ruan was exasperated and gave me 99 calls, but I didn't pick up a single one. Now you know to be anxious? Where were you before? In my previous life, as the son of the richest man, I crazily licked my driver's daughter. In order to marry her, I transferred the company my father left me to her, but she spent my money while falling in love with someone else. At that time, her boyfriend was pampered by her into a little puppy, but I was ordered around like a servant. On her wedding day, I called her to borrow some money for medical treatment. But she said cruelly, "Being pestered by you all these years has simply been my nightmare. Jiang Xiaoyu, please restart your life quickly." At the moment of death, I looked at the woman holding me and realized that the young lady from the Golden Circle, who I once rejected, had actually been waiting for me. When I opened my eyes again, I found myself back in the third year of high school. I was dozing off on the desk and was woken up by the scumbag woman, Leo Ruan. Quote, "Lu Jinian's stomach is not feeling well. Go quickly and help him buy some medicine. Then go to the cafeteria to get food, get more meat. He is too thin and needs a good supplement." Lu Jinian was lying on the table at this time, surrounded by a crowd of people, like stars surrounding the moon. He had a stomachache and everyone was feeling sorry for him. However, the person who cared about him most was, of course, Leo Ruan. The two of them had always been the first and second in the class. In the eyes of others, they were a match made in heaven, a golden couple, while I was Leo Ruan's brainless licking dog. Every day I dozed off. In class and after class, I got food for Leo Ruan, bought water, and ran errands. Realizing that I was reborn, seeing Leo Ruan's face again, I only felt it was ridiculous. Why should she, Leo Ruan, treat me like this? Seeing me stunned, Leo Ruan opened her mouth. "What are you staring at? Why don't you go and come back quickly?" After saying that, she walked to Lu Jinian's side and gently patted his back. At this time, Lu Jinian glanced at me. "It's not good to let Jiang Xiaoyu go like this. I'd better go myself." "What are you afraid of? He likes to do this kind of thing. If I don't let him do it, he won't be happy, right?" She looked at me. I curled the corners of my lips and went to the cafeteria without saying a word. This time I queued up for 2 portions of food. The students next to me smiled lightly. Coming to get food for school beauty Lu again? But she likes Lu Jinian. Someone as excellent as her, she won't look at a character like you. What kind of character am I? Aren't you just a servant's son? Going to school with a young lady every day, do you imagine you can marry her? You'd better wake up. A boy as stupid and useless as you can only be a servant in the young lady's house in the future, washing her clothes, sweeping the floor, and changing diapers for her son. I said exasperatedly, "Did Leo Ruan tell you that I am the son of a servant?" Before, it was because I liked her that I specially allowed her to take the car that picked me up to and from school every day. But now in the eyes of others, Leo Ruan has become a young lady, and I have become the son of a servant. Seeing me ask such a question, the other party rolled their eyes at me. "Otherwise, hurry up and take lunch to the young lady, don't play around," the other party said, and laughed again. The people in front and behind were all laughing. Laughing at my behavior as a licking dog, laughing at my wishful thinking. The bell rang. I came out of the cafeteria but did not return to the classroom. I sat down by the flower bed and ate the 2 portions of food together. I can't remember the last time I had a good meal, because I had no money and couldn't afford good things. Every time it was when the vegetable market was closing, I would go and pick up vegetables that others didn't want. Meat was even more unthinkable. I finished both portions before the feeling of hunger was slightly relieved. When I returned to the classroom, the first school bell had already rung. Leo Ruan saw me coming in and asked angrily, "Why are you only coming now? Where is the medicine you bought?" "What medicine?" I looked at her coldly, completely without the usual enthusiasm when looking at her. Leo Ruan looked at me speechlessly. Where is the stomach medicine I told you to buy for Lu Jinian? I said his stomach was uncomfortable. Are your ears deaf? You can't even handle such a small thing. I glanced at Lu Jinian, whose face was pale. What is my relationship with Lu Jinian? Why should I buy medicine for him? Lu Jinian's family conditions were average since he met Leo Ruan. Leo Ruan had been very good to him. Every time my father gave me something good, Leo Ruan would take it to give to Lu Jinian. Even the watch on Lu Jinian's hand now was mine. These two people used my card and my money, enjoyed everything of mine, but treated me like a servant. Good, Jiang Xiaoyu, you want to make a scene, right? If you're like this, don't blame me for not talking to you next time. Don't come begging for my forgiveness later. At this time, I stared at Leo Ruan's words and felt ridiculous. Where do I need your forgiveness? What did I do wrong? Since I actually dared to argue with Leo Ruan, everyone else looked over what happened. This licking dog has actually changed his nature. Leo Ruan was also stunned for a moment. She looked at me and remembered how I came to beg her every time. If you have the ability, don't go home with me this afternoon. I nodded. Okay, I said as I walked to my seat and sat down, as if I hadn't heard clearly what Leo Ruan was saying, and agreed in my heart. Lu Jinian's table-mate, Wang Yan, saw this scene and stood up directly to uphold justice. No, Jiang Xiaoyu, what's wrong with you? It's just asking you to buy a medicine, you can't even buy the medicine. Didn't you see that Lu Jinian is unwell? I swept a cold glance at her. In that case, why don't you go and buy it now? Wang Yan was righteous. This is what you should do, why should I go? Then I have no relative or friend relationship with Lu Jinian, why should I buy it? Wang Yan pointed at me. You are a servant in the school beauty's house, and now you are asked to buy medicine for the school beauty's friend. Isn't this natural? Mentioning this, I looked at Leo Ruan. Leo Ruan, did you say everywhere outside that I am a servant in your house? I focused my gaze on her, but Leo Ruan felt a bit guilty, of course. These were all guessed by others when they saw her being sent by a luxury car every day. She just didn't explain it. She couldn't tell others that her father was just a driver, and she was the daughter of my family's driver. Forget it if you didn't buy the medicine, I'll buy it myself later. Leo Ruan thought that it was normal for me to be unwilling to buy medicine for Lu Jinian because I liked her. Leo Ruan glanced at me. Where's the food you got? If you didn't buy the medicine, you must have bought the food, right? And she heard from the student who got the food that he just saw me get 2 portions of food. I said calmly, ate it. What did you say? You ate both portions? Looking at Leo Ruan's slightly excited appearance, I nodded. The students at the front table heard this and looked at me with contempt. Are you a pig? You can finish 2 portions. They were used to kissing Leo Ruan's feet and looked down on me. Before, considering that they were all Leo Ruan's friends, I gave them face and didn't want to offend anyone around Leo Ruan, hoping they would speak well for me. Now I find that I just pampered them too much. Obviously, every time Leo Ruan invited them to dinner or something, it was my money that was spent. I spent my own money. Not to mention eating 2 portions. Even eating 20 portions is natural. When the students at the front table heard my words, their faces turned black, and finally they said in a low voice, Is it still your own money? Your money is all given by the school beauty's family, right? I didn't even bother to explain, but Leo Ruan next to me was already angry, especially since I didn't even get food for her. Causing her not even to have a meal, her anger could no longer be held back. She said to me, Jiang Xiaoyu, you asked for this, I hope you can persist for a few more days this time. With that, she stood up, took her things, and said to Lu Jinian's table-mate, Wang Yan, Wait for me to exchange with you, you go and sit with him. Every time she was unhappy, she punished me like this, unwilling to be my table-mate anymore. After all, letting her sit with me was what I had begged for before. She was considered my tutor, she could give me lectures and tutoring, sitting by my side, but now thinking about it, what lectures did Leo Ruan ever give me? She only ordered me around every day. She seemed to think this could intimidate me, but I didn't pay attention to her. Leo Ruan didn't eat, and Lu Jinian was always uncomfortable because of his stomachache. She sat aside with a darkened face and glanced at me, sitting by the window. This time Leo Ruan was really angry, thinking that when I came to apologize, she would let me know how powerful she was. When school was over in the afternoon, the Maybach that came to pick me up stopped at the door. After I left the school gate, I walked straight to the car. Everyone in the school now knew that I had offended Leo Ruan, and they were all waiting to see my joke. Seeing that I actually had the cheek to get into the car, they couldn't help pointing at me. Isn't he even unwilling to buy food for the school beauty? How can he have the face to continue hitching a ride in someone else's car? He's just a servant's son. Did he think he was the master? The school beauty hasn't even come yet, and he has the face to get into the car. The school beauty's temper is just too good. If I encountered this kind of servant's son who doesn't know the heights of heaven and earth, I would have fired him directly. Hearing those mocking voices, I didn't bother to pay attention to them. After sitting in the car, I directly ordered the driver, "Drive!" The driver glanced at me. "But Miss Liu hasn't come yet. Let's wait a bit." Sometimes, Leo Ruan would come late because of student union affairs. At those times, I would always wait. I thought I would have to wait for a long time today too. But I didn't expect that as soon as I came, I would want to let myself drive. Seeing that the driver didn't listen to my order, and even wanted to speak for Leo Ruan, I couldn't help but feel ridiculous. "Uncle Liu, my dad has only one son. Where did the lady come from in our house? Did you have a fight with Ruan?" "Don't worry, young master. I will teach her a lesson later. No need, drive quickly. I don't want to be on the same path as her, and I don't want to see her in the future." Uncle Liu was hesitant at this time and didn't listen to me. He knew all too well how much I was afraid of his daughter. Every time Leo Ruan said something, I didn't dare to refute. Even if he didn't listen to me, I wouldn't do anything. At most, I would let Leo Ruan say a few words to me, thinking that after I inherited the family property, all that money would belong to his own daughter. The driver no longer considered himself a driver, and put on the air of a father-in-law in front of me in advance. "Are you going or not?" I frowned. In fact, father had long wanted to fire him, because he heard that he was gambling privately. Father felt that it was really not reassuring to keep such a person at home, but at that time my brain was broken and I kept speaking for him, thinking that if he stayed, Leo Ruan could stay in the Jiang family together. So I said a lot of good things for him, and also said that he was very good to me, so his driver stayed until now. But I didn't expect that now. He actually wouldn't even listen to the words of me, the master. "They're here!" Seeing Leo Ruan appearing at the door, Uncle Liu quickly got out of the car. Leo Ruan was supporting Lu Jinian, and the two walked to the car together. Uncle Leo helped her open the car door, and Leo Ruan was going to help Lu Jinian into the car. Because I liked Leo Ruan, in order to let her go home with me, every time Lu Jinian was with us, the driver would send Lu Jinian first before sending us home. Not only that, but he had to get up early in the morning to pick up Lu Jinian first. Before Lu Jinian got into the car, I spoke up. "Didn't you say you wouldn't go back with me in the afternoon? Why do you still want to take my car?" The onlookers who saw this scene couldn't help but start swearing. What's wrong with Jiang Xiaoyu? This is clearly the school beauty's car, right? How can he still treat himself like a master? Yeah, letting him ride in the car together is already polite enough. He actually won't let the lady in together. Everyone said one after another. Leo Ruan looked at me, her expression a bit stiff, not understanding what medicine I had taken wrong today. She gave me a way out, but I didn't take it. Do you have to be like this? I'm not angry with you about what happened at noon anymore. I decided to forgive you, Jiang Xiaoyu. You really want to keep making a scene? I don't need your forgiveness. You go back by yourself. Don't be on the same path as me. Leo Ruan's face turned white and green. She also knew that in everyone's eyes, she was a rich second-generation persona. At this time, if she didn't take a car with me, wouldn't her identity be exposed? She simply reached out and pulled me directly out of the car, and then let Lu Jinian get into the car. Quote, "Leo Ruan, don't go too far." I admitted I was angry with her. Many things from before I could no longer remember. This time, seeing Leo Ruan's face, I didn't know how I had endured it before and still thought she was good. Leo Ruan didn't pay attention to me, obviously not prepared to talk reason with me, and said to her dad, "Drive." Uncle Leo actually drove the car away directly, but I was left in place. The onlookers saw this scene and couldn't help but laugh. Well done, he should be treated like this. It's really too unreasonable. I took out my cell phone. This cell phone was bought by Leo Ruan herself, a Nokia worth a few hundred yuan. In order to please her, I gave her the iPhone that my father gave me on my birthday, and took this broken cell phone of hers. At that time, I felt that this could protect her self-esteem, but now looking at this broken cell phone, I think it's quite ridiculous. I still called my father, After a while, the Maybach that just drove away came back again. The car stopped at the door again. Uncle Leo got out of the car. Seeing me, his face was a bit ugly. "Young master!" Looking at him, it was obvious that he had been scolded. "Please get those two people down. I don't want to take the same car as them." Uncle Liu looked at the two people in the car. Leo Ruan supported Lu Jinian down. Lu Jinian didn't expect such a scene either. Looking at me, his face turned whiter and whiter. "Jiang Xiaoyu, it's okay if you don't like me, but you don't have to target Liu Ruyan like this. She has always been quite good to you, right?" Liu Ruyan stopped Lu Jinian. "Don't tell him this." Seeing that both of them were down, I then got into the car. Before leaving, I lowered the car window and waved at Liu Ruyan with a smile. "Goodbye." Uncle Liu took a glance at me from the mirror. Not expecting that I would do it so thoroughly, he couldn't help but open his mouth. "Young master, it's normal to argue with people. Don't be angry either. I will let Leo Ruyan come to apologize to you later. It's just that she doesn't have a car now. I'm afraid she will have to take the bus herself. I don't know what time it will be when she gets home." "Everyone can take the bus, can't she take it?" "Uncle Liu, have you forgotten who pays you? If you don't like me, why don't you just resign? You're actually teaching me how to do things?" Just because I liked his daughter, could he not take me seriously? Uncle Liu heard my words and was so scared that he quickly shut his mouth. Returning home, Aunt Jo saw me. "Young master, why did you come back alone? Why didn't Miss Liu come back with you?" "From now on, there is no Miss Liu in our family." Hearing me speak, Aunt Jo was stunned. My young master has actually woken up. He had always been very good to Liu Ruyan, making the father and daughter of the Liu family a bit unable to distinguish who was the master. Many times Aunt Jo wanted to say it, but didn't dare to, because I would be unhappy. This time, hearing me say these words, Aunt Jo was very moved in her heart. She looked at me. She was the one among the servants in the house who was best to me. But before, because she always managed Liu Ruyan's affairs, I didn't like her. Later, after Liu Ruyan took over the house, Aunt Jo was the first one to be driven away. Thinking of the past, seeing Aunt Jo again now, my eyes were a bit sour. "I'll go upstairs first." "Good. The lady from the Bai family came over. I told her to go back directly." In fact, Bai Ningbing often came to the house, but because she was the person my father arranged for me, I liked Leo Ruyan and hated Bai Ningbing to death. Every time she came, I didn't even see her and just let people send her away directly, so that in the end, I didn't meet Bai Ningbing many times, thinking that before I left it was her people who sent me to the hospital, and she actually still remembered the matter of being my fiancé. I stopped Aunt Jo. "I'll go see her. Where is she?" "The backyard, playing with Dabai." I went to the backyard and saw Bai Ningbing feeding Dabai. I wanted to keep this dog myself, but Liu Ruyan said she didn't like dogs, so I stopped approaching it. I didn't expect Bai Ningbing actually got along quite well with Dabai. Thinking of hearing people mention her before I died, clearly someone of her good conditions, she had been single for so many years, my eyes turned red. After Bai Ningbing touched Dabai, she looked up at me, seeing me standing at the door, not knowing when I came. She was about to walk over, but then remembered how much I hated her and stopped. "Young Master Jiang, Bai Ningbing looks good, but has a steady personality, clearly the same age as myself, but she looks like she's already in her 20s. As for her grades, she has always been the first in the province." She was the person Liu Ruyan disliked the most. Liu Ruyan always said that Bai Ningbing had good conditions and her family gave her many learning resources so she could be so excellent. If she had her conditions, she would definitely not be worse than Bai Ningbing. Every time she saw Bai Ningbing's grades, Liu Ruyan felt very uncomfortable, so that I couldn't help but treat Bai Ningbing as an enemy. But if you think about it carefully, I have never had any intersection with her. Where has she offended me? This time, seeing her, I finally controlled my emotions and asked, "Are you looking for me for something?" "I came over to see you." Seeing that I didn't say anything, Bai Ningbing said sensibly, "I know you don't want to see me. I'll leave right away." She didn't think she could see me either. She just wanted to come over and see Dabai. But she didn't expect that I was actually willing to see her. This was enough for her. Seeing that she was about to leave, I opened my mouth and asked, "Do you want to stay for dinner?" Hearing this, Bai Ningbing was stunned and looked at me in surprise. "Can I?" At this time, the setting sun hit me, making me look a few points more approachable. Of course. At this time, Leo Ruan hadn't come back yet. She was going to send Lu Jinian home. If it were before, I would definitely wait for her to come back before starting the meal. Since I was going to eat so early today, Aunt Zhu was a bit surprised. Not waiting for Miss Liu? What am I waiting for her for? Because the servants at home were all used to me being a licking dog for Leo Ruan. This time I didn't lick anymore, and they were not used to it yet. Aunt Zhou didn't ask much either. Good, I'll go and arrange it right now. By the way, notify Uncle Liu that he doesn't need to come tomorrow. Zhou Shen froze for a moment, then reacted immediately. After all, one shouldn't ask too much about the master's affairs. Fine! After firing Leo Ruyan's father, I finally sat down in the Chinese restaurant. Bai Ningbing had originally been peeking at me, but seeing me sit down, she uncomfortably shifted her gaze away. I didn't expect the Bai Ningbing of this time to be so innocent. I couldn't help but want to tease her. Why aren't you looking at me? Am I very ugly? Although my grades are poor, my looks are okay. If it weren't for being screwed over by Leo Ruan like that later, I wouldn't have fallen to that point. No! She looked at me with a calm face, but if you looked closely, you could see her ears were red. I smiled and asked, by the way, I heard your grades have always been very good. Facing my enthusiasm, Bai Ningbing was still a bit unaccustomed. It's okay. Do you usually have any reliable tutors? Recommend some to me. After all, relying on Leo Ruan won't work anymore. In this life, I don't want to be like the previous one, thinking my father can protect me forever and never even flipping through a book. While there is still a chance now, I want to catch up on my grades. Bai Ningbing has good resources. If it's a teacher she recommends, it might be useful. You want to find a tutor? That Leo Ruan? She had heard before that I had a tutor, a classmate of mine, which is why Leo Ruan had been staying in my house. She was fired because Leo Ruan looked down on me at all and wouldn't have any patience to tutor me. All the money I gave went down the drain. Bai Ningbing was somewhat surprised, seeing that I was serious and didn't look like I was joking. She picked up her cup and took a sip to hide her nervousness. I don't have a tutor. I learned it all by myself. If you don't mind, I can come over every day to tutor you. Although she felt there was a high probability, I wouldn't agree. After all, I previously didn't even bother to glance at her. She was already very surprised that I was willing to let her stay for dinner today. Who knew that after hearing her words, I had a face full of surprise? Really? Bai Ningbing nodded, flattered. As long as you are willing, I can. Of course, no problem. I'm just afraid of delaying your schoolwork. Don't you also need to study? It doesn't matter. Although there was no expression on Bai Ningbing's face, her eyes were very gentle. It wouldn't affect her. She had finished the high school curriculum long ago and had a guaranteed admission spot. But for fear of causing me resentment, she didn't dare say it. Then thank you. My grades are very poor. Just don't dislike me for being stupid. Leo Ruyan's grades were also very good, but she had no patience for me. For the same problem, as long as she explained it once and I didn't understand, she would scold me. Originally, my grades were average, but later, being tutored by her, they actually regressed a lot, making me lose all confidence. I won't. Then I'll come to your house to find you after school in the future. The two of us were eating and seeing Bai Ningbing looking very quiet. I picked up my chopsticks and added food for her. Treat it like your own home, no need to be formal. It was also at this time that Leo Ruan, who had sent Lu Jinian home, walked in. She had just received the news of her father being dismissed, and her father had scolded her. Seeing that I actually didn't wait for her to eat and all the dishes on the table had already been touched, her face immediately darkened. I looked at her indifferently and continued eating. Leo Ruan originally wanted to find me to ask about her father's affairs, but seeing Bai Ningbing here, she asked displeased Ly, why is she here? The old me, in order to please her, never walked very close to other girls. Every time Bai Ningbing came over, I would just drive her away without looking. But I didn't expect that now I actually kept her for dinner. I treat her as my guest. Do you have an objection? Leo Ruan had no choice but to sit down and looked at me. Did you specifically call her over to accompany you just to make me angry? Bai Ningbing sat on the side without speaking. I looked at Leo Ruan. You're overthinking it. Leo Ruan, you're not that important. Previously, I felt this woman was my world, and everything of mine had to revolve around her. But doing it over again, I only see disgust and disdain when I see her now. Continuing to like this kind of person will only sink my life into an endless abyss. If you think you being with other girls could make me angry, Jiang Xiaoyu, then you really think too much. Seeing you intimate with others, I'd even wish for it, so you wouldn't bother me all day. After saying that, she went straight upstairs back to her room. I was speechless. Once Leo Ruan left, I could see the gaze of Bai Ningbing opposite me became complicated. Don't listen to her nonsense. She wouldn't be angry because of this, right? I felt a bit unsure. What surprised me was that Bai Ningbing didn't say a word about it. Her attitude seemed a bit cold. After eating, I sent Bai Ningbing to the door, watching her. Be careful on the road. Okay. She left without saying much to me, appearing very quiet. I returned home and Leo Ruan walked down the stairs. Although she did many evil things later, this face was indeed well formed, looking gentle and quiet. Previously, I was fooled by this appearance of hers. At this moment, Leo Ruan said to me, "Why did you fire my dad?" She didn't say these words in front of others just now because she didn't want everyone to know that she was actually just the daughter of the Jiang family's driver. Making a scene in front of Bai Ningbing would make her lose a lot of face. I said speechlessly, "Do I need to explain to you for firing a driver? That's my dad. I told him to do everything that happened today. It has nothing to do with him. If you have the ability, come at me, then just fire me." As soon as firing was mentioned, I immediately felt rejuvenated. I stared at Leo Ruan. "Fine, no problem." "What did you just say?" Leo Ruan stared at me in surprise. Seeing this, I said, "Don't you always think I'm stupid? Since that's the case, let's forget it in the future. You move out of my house. I will find another tutor. Since you started tutoring me, my grades have actually gotten worse and worse. I feel that you are not worthy of the high salary I give you." Leo Ruan thought I was just joking with her, but she didn't expect that now. I really wanted to fire her and not let her be my tutor anymore. "Your grades are not good because you are really too stupid to keep up. For the same problem, I explained it to Lu Jinian once, and he understands immediately. What about you? You are as stupid as a pig, and you blame me for this? Even if you changed to other teachers, it would be the same. No one can teach you more. This is entirely your own problem." I saw that she was still looking for the reason in me at this time. "Move out of the house. Jiang Xiaoyu." Leo Ruan knitted her brows. "Now you are still a student. Your mind should be on studying. No wonder your grades are poor." "What exactly are you talking about?" Leo Ruan snorted. "These little tricks of yours, isn't it just because you're jealous of my good relationship with Lu Jinian? So you're in a bad mood. But currently, I only want to focus on studying and strive to get into an excellent university. I'm not like you. Even without going to school, the family's money is still more than enough. So it's impossible for me to be with you now." I stared at the woman in front of me, feeling a bit shocked in my heart. After reacting for a few seconds, "Who wants to be with you?" "It's not that, Leo Ruan. Where exactly does your confidence come from? Do you really think I will be with you? Clearly, if I don't fancy you, you are nothing." Leo Ruan only assumed I was being stubborn. "Whatever you think, but I must remind you, if you keep Bai Ningbing for dinner at home again next time, don't blame me for ignoring you." After she finished speaking, she went straight back to her room and slammed the door hard. I returned to my room and then called Zhou Shen. "Zhou Shen, move Leo Ruan's belongings out of the room tomorrow. My house cannot accommodate such a person who wants to step on my head." Then I asked for Bai Ningbing's phone number and saved it in the phone, sending her a message along the way. "Did you get home?" But she didn't reply. In the morning I got up, because I didn't have to go pick up Lu Jinian anymore. I could sleep until I woke up naturally. I originally thought Leo Ruan had already left, but I didn't expect to see her sitting at the dining table waiting for me after getting up. I found a place to sit down and began to enjoy my breakfast. Every day, in order to rush to pick up Lu Jinian, I almost never had a good breakfast at home. Seeing Leo Ruan waiting for me here now, I'm not picking her up. "You can leave earlier." After breakfast I walked out, and Leo Ruan followed closely behind me. The driver had been replaced by another person who proactively helped me open the car door. I got into the car, and Leo Ruan followed in. I looked at her and said, "School beauty Liu, what does this mean? Didn't you say you wouldn't be on the same path as me? I remember clearly what you said yesterday." Leo Ruan pursed her lips and didn't speak. If it weren't for my father insisting I coax you, I wouldn't coax you. Isn't it just having some money at home and liking to use power to bully people? What's so great? But my father still needs this job. I didn't bother wasting time with her here and let the driver start the car. The two arrived at the school gate, and I got out of the car, Leo Ruan following behind me. Previously, when they came, they always brought Luginian together. Today, Luginian came by bus himself. Seeing Leo Ruan, he quickly walked over. Luginian's gaze fell on me. He couldn't understand the scene I made yesterday either. A servant's son actually dared to be so arrogant toward Leo Ruan? Seeing Leo Ruan and me going to school together, he asked, "Did you two make up?" To this I didn't pay them any attention and walked straight inside. Leo Ruan stared at my back, seeing that I didn't wait for her at all. She slightly knitted her brows and said to Luginian, "I have nothing to hold against him. No matter what, letting a servant's son bully you like this, your temper is too good. Now everyone is discussing that Jiang Xiaoyu is the eldest young master. No need to care about their views. My dad's relationship with Jiang Xiaoyu is quite good. He asked me to take more care of Jiang Xiaoyu. I can't just ignore him, right?" "Okay!" Seeing that she was like this because of her father's affairs, Luginian breathed a slight sigh of relief in his heart. I arrived at the classroom and Wang Yan was already there. She stood in the way and wouldn't let me in. "Move!" Wang Yan glanced at me and opened her mouth to say, "You are too shameless. Yesterday you actually directly left School Beauty Liu and Luginian there and let the driver drive the car away yourself." I stared at Wang Yan and let out a light laugh. "My own car, I have the right not to let others hitch a ride. Do you need to mind who you are?" Looking at my confident appearance, everyone couldn't help but feel curious. "Are you saying that Maybach is yours? Otherwise?" I glanced indifferently at the person speaking. Wang Yan, however, laughed lightly. "Just you, kid? Jiang Xiaoyu, we know exactly who you are. You still want to pretend to be a young master here. Now, do you really have that qualification? I heard that driver is your dad, and your whole family works for the Liu family. School Beauty Liu is a good person and doesn't hold it against you. Otherwise, she would have swept you out long ago. But don't push your luck as a person." Wang Yan had a good relationship with Luginian, and Luginian was often together with Leo Ruan. Hearing her say this, everyone believed her words, one after another. Leo Ruan and Luginian had already appeared at the classroom door. Leo Ruan's expression appeared somewhat stiff because those words Wang Yan said were not actually accusing me, but scolding her. She walked over and said to Wang Yan, "Go back to your seat." Wang Yan helplessly glanced at Leo Ruan. She clearly felt Leo Ruan's dissatisfaction and had to move her things away. Leo Ruan sat next to me again. Facing this behavior of hers, I didn't pay much attention either. After all, I didn't care about her actions. But she was a favorite of the teachers, and her interpersonal relationships were quite good. Others wouldn't say anything if seats were changed. Wang Yan sat next to Luginian, feeling a bit unconvinced, and said to Luginian, "Luginian, what does School Beauty Liu mean? Jiang Xiaoyu is already riding on her head, and she still protects him like this? Jiang Xiaoyu is moving back to live with her now, and her father asked her to take good care of Jiang Xiaoyu. There's no other meaning. Don't think too much." So that's why. I was wondering why Jiang Xiaoyu was like this. He even said that car was theirs. The phone Leo Ruan uses herself looks very expensive at first glance, and the gifts she gives you aren't cheap either. Look at the phone Jiang Xiaoyu uses. It's about the same as mine, and he actually thinks of pretending to be a rich young master. Who would believe it? I sat in my seat and peeked at my phone. Bai Ningbing finally returned a message to me, just a character, appearing truly cold and incomparable. I couldn't help but think of her attitude toward me yesterday, which was very friendly, but after going back, her attitude became cold. Clearly, the message sent last night was only replied to now. At this time, Leo Ruan happened to be sitting on the side, and seeing that I was looking at messages, and the remark was still Bai Ningbing, she couldn't help but frown. Clearly nothing had changed, but since yesterday, she felt as if I had become another person. I took out my phone and sent a message to Bai Ningbing. "Then are you still coming for tutoring in the afternoon?" Bai Ningbing again only replied with one character. It's fine as long as she's willing to come." I didn't manage this matter anymore. I was incredibly serious in class. At noon, Lu Jinian came over and went downstairs to eat together with Leo Ruan. Leo Ruan unconsciously glanced at me and asked, "Aren't you going to eat?" My level of seriousness today made Leo Ruan feel it was miraculous. I didn't even doze off in class. At this moment, I was still carefully organizing my notes. Previously, she mocked me that my mind only had her every day. Unexpectedly, there were times when I studied seriously. Seeing that I was still busy after class, Leo Ruan couldn't help but ask out of curiosity. I, however, acted as if I didn't hear her speak at all and ignored her directly. Lu Jinian glanced at Leo Ruan and said, "Jiang Xiaoyu isn't going. Let's go ourselves and bring some up for him later." "No need." I rejected Lu Jinian's kindness. Lu Jinian is a good person, at least in everyone's eyes he always has been. Therefore, even if others mocked him behind his back, Lu Jinian's attitude toward himself remained optimistic and proactive. But I didn't want to owe anyone any favors. I properly organized my belongings and then I stood up, not going downstairs with them. Lu Jinian followed beside Leo Ruan. "What's with him not ignoring you either? Where on earth did you offend him?" Leo Ruan was also puzzled. She similarly wanted to figure it out. Usually, no matter how cold she was to me, I would always stick to her like a little pug. However, starting from yesterday, clearly she hadn't succeeded in doing anything, but I was still in this state. This really makes one feel confused. By the way, do you want to invite him to your birthday party this weekend? This week happened to be Lu Ruyan's birthday. Lu Ruyan's birthday last year was spent at the Royal Pavilion Hotel. I booked the hotel and then arranged everything. Leo Ruan invited the classmates, spending hundreds of thousands in one night, and the classmates who went were full of praise for it. I feel that participating in Leo Ruyan's birthday party is an honor. This time was naturally the same. As early as a few days ago, I had already arranged everything properly. If I hadn't said I wanted to fire her, Leo Ruan wouldn't feel anything this time either. But after I said those words yesterday, O'Day, I had a cold appearance again, making her unable to help but think more. If I don't go, will her birthday still be held? Seeing my back as I had already walked far away, Leo Ruan couldn't help but comfort herself in her heart. Forget it. What am I worried about? He will definitely come. Could he even ignore my birthday? Perhaps he is intentionally being this cold to me just to give me a surprise. Thinking of this, her mood relaxed slightly, and she said to Lu Jinian, "He will definitely come." True, he's there every time it's your birthday, in the afternoon. Leo Ruan and Lu Jinian had rehearsals for school anniversary programs. I didn't wait for her and went straight home. Bai Ningbing had already arrived. As soon as I returned, she and Dabai came together to welcome me. Seeing her appear before my eyes, I laughed. Perhaps because of the destiny of the previous life, therefore now I always feel that every time I meet her is so precious and rare. Seeing the smile on my face, Bai Ningbing froze for a moment. She was already used to my willful and cold appearance. Recently, I have been overflowing with enthusiasm, making her always a bit shy and not daring to look straight at me. I looked at her and said with a smile, "You came so early? Then let's go straight to the study." I led Bai Ningbing upstairs. "In class today, I just happened to find many places I couldn't understand. I thought I could ask you for advice." The two people sat down in the study. That position next to me was originally Leo Ruyan's, but even if Leo Ruyan sat here, she would never seriously give me lectures, and would even feel that I was delaying her studies. Bai Ningbing sat down next to me. She brought 2 exam papers, wanting to first understand my current level. I seriously finished the papers and then handed them to her. Bai Ningbing silently took the papers and looked quietly for a moment. I was a bit ashamed. "Sorry, I am really stupid. It's not your problem. It's just that the learning method is not quite appropriate. Let me help you review the basics first, okay?" I nodded in agreement. Bai Ningbing always kept her head down when teaching, and didn't look at me, talking very seriously, but her problem-solving logic was incredibly popular and easy for me to understand. Many things I originally couldn't figure out were suddenly understood easily after she said it like that. Bai Ningbing talked for a good while and felt a bit thirsty. Just as she raised her head, she realized I was staring at her, saying. She swallowed a bit uncomfortably and then turned her gaze back to the problem. "What's wrong? Is there a problem?" "I just feel that you are quite patient with me. But why are you so cold on the phone? From beginning to end, you only replied with 2 characters. Is it because of the matter between me and Leo Ruyan? that you have an opinion of me. No! Yesterday my family members came over, so I was busy, and I couldn't reply to your messages in time. By the time I saw it, it was already morning. If you have anything you need help with, you can call me at any time. Just as the two were busy, my phone suddenly rang. I quickly answered the phone. Leo Ruan's voice came from the other end of the phone. Jiang Xiaoyu, what do you mean by this? What's wrong with me again? Hearing her tone with accusation, I completely didn't understand where on earth I had provoked her. You actually let them throw away all my things? I couldn't help but glance at Bai Ningbing and didn't hide it from him, directly saying to Leo Ruan, I told you yesterday, you are fired. Since that's the case, you have no reason to stay in my house anymore, right? I'm still in class, don't bother me. After saying that, I hung up the phone directly. Leo Ruan stood in front of the door, watching her luggage being thrown out all at once, unable to believe this was something I could do. I really wanted to drive her away. I hung up the phone and said to Bai Ningbing, let's continue. Bai Ningbing gave a response. After a while, suddenly the study door was pushed open. Leo Ruan stood at the door. Her face had become extremely gloomy due to anger, and her gaze fell on me and Bai Ningbing. A trace of contempt appeared in her eyes. Seeing her appear here, I stood up and asked, what are you doing here? Don't you dislike me? Don't you look down on me? Now you're starting to be persistent. Leo Ruan stepped forward and used a questioning tone. Jiang Xiaoyu, do you think it's very interesting to insult me like this? Bai Ningbing also stood up, instinctively standing in front of me to protect. Insult you? Seeing Leo Ruan so angry, I retorted. Did you get it wrong? How did I insult you? Leo Ruan, the person who was truly being insulted, was me, right? I was responsible for all your living expenses. You and Lu Jinian were glued together every day, and I followed behind you like a servant. I served you, but still had to endure your coldness. Don't these things count as insult? Now I'm just taking back everything given to her, but in her view, this has become an insult to her. Leo Ruan slightly tightened her lips and looked at me. Don't think that you finding someone can coerce me into doing anything with you. It's impossible for me to like you, nor is it possible to be with you. After she finished speaking, she turned around and left, even bumping into the door. I opened the window and made a sound, witnessing her take her luggage after going downstairs and then leaving without hesitation. She left quite decisively. Leo Ruan had always been the very proud type in front of me, although the family was poor. She was full of integrity. No matter how well I treated her, she would definitely not succumb to the temptation of money. I previously took a fancy to this point of hers, but now looking back, I really think it's ridiculous. Bai Ningbing saw me standing in front of the window and reminded, Jiang Xiaoyu, sorry, let's continue. Or should I go back first? I see your mood isn't very good. No, my mood is quite good. I just remembered the previous life and some stupid things I had done. I wasn't feeling sad for Leo Ruan. Seeing Leo Ruan's appearance, I was actually quite happy in my heart because at least now I don't have to feel anxious about my own future. Away from Leo Ruan, I won't catch this disease again in this life, and I won't end up like that again, right? Bai Ningbing said, I'll go back first. After he finished speaking, he was about to walk out the door. I took a step forward and grabbed his hand. Bai Ningbing was stunned. He turned his head and stared at me. What's wrong? I didn't know what I was doing either, but I'm not stupid. I could tell he was a little unhappy. Whenever Leo Ruan arrived and said those words, Bai Ningbing would subconsciously want to distance himself from me. Before, my relationship with Leo Ruan was very close, and I never hid my love for Leo Ruan. I'm afraid everyone, even Bai Ningbing, thought so. They all thought I liked Leo Ruan in my heart. Of course, indeed. I really did like her once. If it weren't for the tragic end in my previous life, I'm afraid I would never have awakened. This time, seeing Bai Ningbing looking at me, I let go of my hand. Do you have time on Saturday? I want to go to the Royal Pavilion Hotel for dinner. Do you want to go together? The dishes at the Royal Pavilion Hotel are very delicious. I was a starving ghost in my last life. Now I just want to enjoy myself. If it were before, I would definitely bring Leo Ruan, but now I want to call Bai Ningbing more. Anyway, he is the marriage partner arranged by my father. As long as I don't act up, after graduation, I am very likely to marry Bai Ningbing. I used to think my father didn't respect me. But looking back now, He doesn't look worse than Leo Ruan. Plus he is both beautiful and has a good family background. He can take a fancy to me. The person who gets the advantage seems to be me, right? Quote, "You're not with him?" The person he mentioned was Leo Ruan. I asked back, "So you really want me to be with her? Do you want me to avoid you like before?" "Of course not." "Then it's settled. See you Saturday." Saturday afternoon. I was a bit late when I arrived. When I entered the door, I found many old friends at the door. Every one of them was dressed up glamorously. Seeing me appear, Wang Yan, as Lu Jinian's good friend, saw me and couldn't help laughing. "Jiang Xiaoyu, you actually have the face to show up here?" I frowned in confusion. "Why can't I come? The owner of the Royal Pavilion Hotel is a very good friend of my father's. I am a super VIP here. I can come whenever I want." "I'd like to know, why can't I come?" Wang Yan sneered. "In the past 2 days at school beauty Liu hasn't even acknowledged you. Now it's her birthday, and you still have the nerve to come with a thick face?" "Leo Ruyan's birthday!" "Right, today is her birthday. I've been in class lately and didn't think about this matter. If they hadn't reminded me, I would have almost forgotten." I had greeted the people at the Royal Pavilion Hotel before. This year is Leo Ruyan's 18th birthday. The year of her 18th birthday, I gave her a big celebration at the Royal Pavilion Hotel, making it incredibly prestigious. But it was also on this day that I got the truth. "Jiang Xiaoyu, can you stop always managing my business?" Later I was angry and ignored her. Eventually, we were in a cold war for a full 2 days. But I still couldn't help being the first to apologize to her. In order to get her to marry me, I even did such a stupid thing as handing over the company my father left me. Looking at the lively scene in front of me at this moment, I didn't want to pay attention to them. Everything for Leo Ruyan in the hotel was arranged by me, and naturally, I was responsible for the expenses. Now that I've come to my senses, I no longer pay attention to her. She actually still dared to bring them here to spend money. I'm curious how she's going to end this in a while. I ignored the classmates, mockery, and walked straight into the elevator. My place with Bai Ningbing was already booked. I didn't know if he had arrived yet. As soon as I walked out of the elevator, I caught sight of Leo Ruyan chatting warmly with Lu Jinian. She noticed my arrival at a glance. Leo Ruyan's gaze instantly locked onto me. "I knew you would show up. I thought you really wouldn't come." Leo Ruyan walked towards me. She teased me with a bit of pride, saying, "Didn't you say you wouldn't come? HMPH, don't think that just because you're here, I'll forgive you for what you did before." "Jiang Xiaoyu, I'm still angry." Every time she's like this, always using her anger to force me to compromise. I looked at her, the corners of my mouth tilted up slightly. "Is something wrong? Aren't you here for my birthday?" "Why should I celebrate your birthday? Didn't you also not invite me? So many classmates are celebrating your birthday. One more or less of me shouldn't matter, right?" "Jiang Xiaoyu, what do you mean?" Leo Ruyan looked at me a bit irritably. Until now, I'm still being stubborn. Even for her birthday, I didn't want him to run into her. I had to make her angry. Just then, the restaurant manager walked towards me and said to me, "Young Master Jiang, has Bai Ningbing arrived?" The manager nodded. "He has already arrived. Please lead the way for me, thank you." Okay, the manager was about to lead me to find Bai Ningbing, but Leo Ruyan followed behind me. "Jiang Xiaoyu, have you had enough?" I actually still had to find Bai Ningbing. Is his temper too good? I glanced at her. "I'm not making a scene. It's you who is making a scene, right? You didn't want me to pester you and thought I was very annoying. Now I'm not pestering you anymore. What's wrong with you? Your friends are still waiting for you." As I spoke, I glanced at Lu Jinian, who wanted to follow, but seemed to think it was inappropriate. Lu Jinian had never seen Leo Ruyan being so proactive with me either. Of course, I knew why Leo Ruyan was so proactive. She's not reluctant to let go of me. She's reluctant to let go of the cash in my pocket. Ha! Before, she clearly didn't like me. But she enjoyed everything I gave her with a clear conscience, refusing to accept my things with her mouth, but accepting them very happily. Now I'm ignoring her, and she's panicked. After all, after preparing for such a long time for the birthday party, how could it end hastily? If it's because of my relationship with Lu Jinian, I can stay further away from him. In that case, can you stop making a scene? Unprecedentedly, she actually chose to take a step back, which shows how reluctant she is to let go of this birthday party. Also, if she didn't care about face, she wouldn't have been a rich girl in school, much less invited so many people to attend her birthday party. It turns out, she was also afraid of losing face. Having seen Leo Ruyan's cold and noble appearance, now seeing her compromise for a birthday party. I think this matter is quite interesting. I also nodded in agreement. I know you're celebrating your birthday today. It's not good to dampen everyone's spirits, right? After speaking, I turned my head to look at the manager. I reserved an Emerald Hall in your restaurant before, using the name Leo Ruan. The manager flipped through it and said, "Yes, young Master Jiang. Since today is student Liu's birthday, then let her use this hall." After I finished speaking, I looked at Leo Ruan. "Is this okay?" Seeing me relent, Leo Ruan also breathed a sigh of relief. "You did all this just to make me and Lu Jinian break up. You just can't stand us being together." "You're overthinking it. I don't care at all who you're with, Leo Ruan. After a long time, you will understand. Without me, Jiang Xiaoyu, you are nothing." The manager stood quietly to the side. My saying such words made Leo Ruan lose a lot of face. "I can't be bothered with you." She turned and left decisively. The manager glanced at me. "Then I'll have people arrange everything at the Emerald Hall." I nodded. However, remember to let her pay all the fees herself before leaving. No one is allowed to leave before the bill is paid. "Okay, young Master Jiang." After arranging everything, I went to find Bai Ningbing. Leo Ruan returned to Lu Jinian's side. Lu Jinian saw her dark face and asked, "How is it? What were you talking about?" "Nothing special." She glanced at the gentle and caring Lu Jinian in front of her. "After today's birthday party is over, he will never have any connection with me again. And will definitely never give me a good face again." When I walked in, he was focused on browsing the menu. Suddenly, he heard a sound, and then he looked up and made eye contact with me. I showed a smile. "Have you been waiting long?" "No, I also just arrived." Bai Ningbing was watching me, only I was a bit thin. I naturally sat down next to him. Bai Ningbing didn't expect me to be so close to him. A bit uncomfortable, there were many seats. I could have clearly sat elsewhere. I didn't notice his discomfort at that time, and asked, "Have you ordered?" "Not yet, I'm looking." "Let me see." I leaned over his hand to look at the menu. Bai Ningbing could no longer read the menu. He was always paying attention to me. "I want to eat something with a strong flavor. This seems to remind myself that I am still alive." Those days of sickness, when I couldn't eat enough, couldn't dress warmly, and couldn't sleep well, were a torture to me. Even though I'm reborn now, sometimes I dream that I'm back in my previous life, eating too spicy. I fanned with my hand. I lightly picked up the watermelon juice and took a sip. Bai Ningbing asked me, "Do you like spicy food?" "It's okay. I like it quite a bit. What about you?" "I like it too." He spoke very cooperatively, picking up chopsticks to take some dishes. In our private room, the waiter was standing by on the side. After a while, the owner of the royal pavilion walked in. His name is Zhou Ye. Seeing him, I politely said, "Uncle Zhou." Zhou Ye looked at me, lifted the corners of his mouth and said, "Jiang Xiaoyu is also present." As soon as he said that, I immediately understood that he was not here for me. Sure enough, Zhou Ye walked towards Bai Ningbing on the side. He called out politely, "Miss Bai, welcome to our hotel for dining. If there's anything we haven't hosted well, you can tell me." He was close to my father, only then did he know Bai Ningbing's identity. Ordinary people simply don't know Bai Ningbing's background, and don't know that the little young lady of the Jincheng Bai family is hidden in Yuncheng. Bai Ningbing gave an answer, and then continued to eat. He was very cold. I originally thought he was a warm person. This time meeting him, I found out that Bai Ningbing doesn't even like to talk to others. Yi stood on the side for a while, personally pouring water for him. He didn't talk either. That feeling of strangers keep away almost spread throughout the whole private room. Finally, Zhou Yi had to say sensibly, "Then I'll excuse myself first. Please enjoy slowly." "Wait a minute, Uncle Joe," I called him back. Zhou Yi heard this voice. He stopped his footsteps and then turned back again. Quote, "What other orders does young Master Jiang have?" He laughed very warmly, looking like a very warm person. So I've always had a good impression of him. Only, if I remember correctly, in my previous life, the Royal Pavilion Hotel had a sudden fire on the third day of Lu Ruyan's birthday party. The reason was that the kitchen's fire safety measures were not in place. After the fire started, they found that his fire extinguisher simply couldn't be used. That fire even caused casualties. Because of this, the Royal Pavilion Hotel was originally the most powerful hotel in Yuncheng. But after that incident, it never recovered. I heard that Zhu Ye also fell ill because of this. I looked at Zhu Ye and asked, "Is there any problem with your hotel's fire safety?" Seeing me suddenly ask about this, Zhou Ye looked at me with some surprise. "Young Master Jiang, why the sudden concern about this?" "I just feel, why don't you have someone check it thoroughly, especially the kitchen area?" "Don't worry, our hotel's fire safety is perfect. There will definitely not be any problems. We will be responsible for the guests." I looked at him quietly. "Uncle Zhou, why don't you check it yourself?" Seeing me so persistent, Zhu Ye's face also showed a bit of dissatisfaction, staring at me. "What do you mean by this?" "Young Master Jiang, do you not believe what I said? Your father and I are good friends. Your father knows very well what my character is. I do business with a lot of conscience. Your doing this is doubting my character. I'm about the same age as his son. In his eyes, I'm just a child. Where do I understand these things?" Bai Ningbing spoke up. Since he said so, why not go and take a look? When Zhou Yi walked in, Bai Ningbing had never spoken to him again. Why does he always respond briefly with a sentence or two? However, he also said so at this moment. Zhou Yi gave him face. "Okay, I'll go now." Bai Ningbing is very steady, plus his identity is right here. Although he is actually close to my age. What he says seems to make people more convinced. When Zhou Ye left, I couldn't help but look at Bai Ningbing in surprise. Why did he help me? I just made this request because I indeed knew a lot. However, from Bai Ningbing's perspective, he should know nothing about these. Bai Ningbing heard my words and said, "Since you opened your mouth to help you, isn't that what's supposed to happen? Aren't you afraid I'm talking nonsense?" "What does that matter?" Bai Ningbing said. Even making a joke wouldn't be too much of a problem, it's just letting him take a trip. He was talking about these things, appearing quite calm. But looking at him, my heart surged with incomparable warmth, as if the feeling of being deeply trusted by someone. I recalled the moment I was diagnosed with AIDS. No one was willing to believe that I was a victim. They all said I was messing around outside. If I really messed around, I would admit it. Everyone was accusing me. They were full of disgust for me. Even I began to hate myself. But I didn't expect it was Leo Ruan, who intentionally let someone take a needle used by an AIDS patient for me to use. She wanted to use this as an excuse, not to marry me. Only those who frame you know how wronged you are. I and Bai Ningbing ate for a long time. After eating, we didn't leave, but the restaurant served dessert. I also brought homework over, and wrote the homework along the way. Bai Ningbing could also explain the questions to me. The two stayed until night. When Liu Ruyan's birthday party ended, when they were preparing to leave, everyone was kept behind, because Leo Ruan hadn't paid the bill. Liu Ruyan gave me a call the first time I didn't pick up. Bai Ningbing sat on the side watching me not picking up. I knew who called, and I didn't care. I didn't pick up until Leo Ruyan called 2 more times. "Jiang Xiaoyu, what do you mean?" On the other end of the phone, Leo Ruyan's voice was filled with rage. The more angry she was, the more joyful my mood became. Although I don't want to associate with her anymore. The enmity from the previous life still has to be avenged, otherwise, I can't swallow that breath. I raised the corners of my mouth and said, "School beauty Liu, what's wrong? Why such a big fire?" "You come over and buy the bill." Leo Ruyan lowered her voice. "Don't cause trouble." She originally thought after the birthday party ended, she wouldn't associate with me anymore after she left. But she didn't expect that I was waiting for her here. Now she has no money to pay the bill. Everyone was kept behind. Everyone was waiting for her. I said, "How strange, I didn't go to your birthday. Why should I pay the bill? Why don't you have your classmates go AA with you? Everyone pitch in to give the money. Anyway, they are all quite good to you. And your relationship is also quite good. You often treat them to dinner too." I used to give Leo Ruyan over 100,000 yuan in pocket money every month. Leo Ruyan also took it with a clear conscience. She thought the tutoring money she earned was what she deserved. She was also very generous. From time to time, she would treat everyone to dinner. Everyone thought Leo Ruyan was a big spender and was willing to be close to her, but she was using my money. "Jiang Xiaoyu, do you have to be like this? What on earth do you want me to do so you'll come and buy the bill? If you're asking for help, at least you should have the attitude of asking for help, right? What do you think?" Through the phone, I heard Liu Ruyan unwillingly let out a breath. I didn't lick her unconditionally like before. Of course, she was very angry. "Hey! I raised the corners of my mouth. Not willing? Then forget it. I'll hang up. I beg you. Leo Ruan held her phone and gritted her teeth. They were now blocked by the hotel staff and couldn't leave at all. I hung up the phone and stood up, and then said to Bai Ningbing, I'm going out for a bit. I walked all the way to the Emerald Hall. At this time, the classmates attending the birthday party were all inside. They still stayed in this place. Everyone was staring at Leo Ruan. The atmosphere instantly became very awkward. They couldn't leave. Leo Ruan could only helplessly stay here and face everyone's gaze. Just as I appeared, the manager walked over. He called me politely, Young Master Jiang. I looked at this circle of people, each one dressed up truly as beautiful as a flower. They all used to look down on me. This time, everyone didn't have that arrogant air. After all, nothing is more embarrassing than being trapped here and not being able to take out money. Quote, what's wrong with everyone? Isn't this school beauty Leo's birthday party? You don't look very happy. I intentionally looked at Leo Ruan. Her expression was darker than anyone else's. Lu Jinian stood on the side, not knowing what the situation was either. This Miss Liu hasn't paid the bill? I'm just letting them pay the bill. I see. What's the big deal? There's no need to make it like this. They are all my classmates. I'll buy tonight's bill. After I finished speaking, I handed my card out. The manager took the card to swipe it. The expressions of the others looking at me became complicated. Leo Ruan was celebrating her birthday, and she actually had me come over to pay the bill. What's going on? Can't she pay for it herself? Leo Ruan felt her face heating up. She looked at me. No wonder I came over so easily. It turns out my goal was to make her lose face, to let everyone know she was a poor ghost who had to rely on me to give money. Clearly, the matter of taking money to pay the bill could have been handled discreetly by myself, but now it was made so flamboyant, and I had to swipe the card in front of everyone. This man is really crazy. After a while, the manager finished swiping the credit card, and then he handed the card and the bill to me. Young Master Jiang, it's finished. This is the bill. I checked the bill and intentionally said the numbers on it. 860,000. Leo Ruan, happy birthday. I'll buy the bill for your birthday this year, but there won't be a next time. After I finished speaking, I glanced at Lu Jinian. Lu Jinian was standing right beside me. His face had already begun to turn a grayish-white color. What's the situation? Leo Ruan's money was all given by Jiang Xiaoyu? Isn't she a rich young lady? The scene in front of everyone was really too much. Wang Yan stood out and said to me, Jiang Xiaoyu, what kind of joke are you playing? Leo Ruan's money being kept with you makes it yours? You're just a child of their family servant taking care of it for her? What exactly are you proud of? Is your family's money kept by the servant? I looked at Wang Yan and smiled lightly. Since you say I am the son of a servant in Leo Ruan's house, then I'll tell you now, I am not. Her father is my family's driver. That day at the school gate, he threw me behind and drove away with Leo Ruan and Lu Jinian, and has now been fired. If you don't believe it, why not go and ask Leo Ruan? After speaking, I looked at Leo Ruan. School beauty Liu, what do you say? She stared at me, her eyes full of unwillingness. Growing up so big, even if she was poor, she had never suffered such humiliation. Now everyone is watching her joke. But unfortunately, she couldn't say anything at this time. After all, I might very likely refund the money and then leave her here. She didn't pay attention to me and turned to walk out. Lu Jinian witnessed all this and then followed out. The scene in front of him was truly hard to bear, but he couldn't not leave. In fact, today he was also getting carried away and had told the classmates about his relationship with Leo Ruan. He originally thought Leo Ruan was a rich young lady, and it was only right and proper for him to announce his relationship with her, and everyone would envy him. But he never expected that. She was actually a driver's daughter. So why did she pretend to be a rich young lady before? After the two left, I glanced at everyone present. If there's nothing else, everyone can disperse. Pay more attention on the way home. It's not early anymore. Everyone left the Emerald Hall one after another, watching them leave. I then walked out of the Emerald Hall. The manager accompanied me towards the door and sent me to the elevator door. At this time, Bai Ningbing also happened to come over, and the two entered the elevator together. This time I didn't speak either. It was very quiet. Although just now in front of everyone I cleared up my identity, I wasn't very happy in my heart. Compared to the bitterness I've experienced over the years, just giving Leo Ruan this little punishment really can't dissipate the resentment in my heart. Bai Ningbing saw that I was silent and didn't bother me, and the two reached downstairs. only to see Uncle Zhu. Upon seeing me, he immediately walked towards me. Jiang Xiaoyu! This time, his target was no longer Bai Ningbing but me. Uncle Zhou! Zhou Ye held my hand. Xiaoyu, thank you so much. If it weren't for you, our hotel would have had a major accident. I just went to check personally and found many problems. It's all because my cousin didn't do his job well. I've already sent him home. As I should. Zhou Ye asked curiously. How did you know our hotel's fire safety had problems? This question stumped me, so I just made up an excuse to deal with it. I dreamed about it last night. Zhou Ye heard my words and couldn't help laughing. Okay, I won't ask. By the way, I had some gifts prepared for you two. As he spoke, he had the assistant next to him bring the gifts over. 2 small gifts in bags. Thank you. If you need anything in the future, just find me. He was naturally clear about this kindness in his heart. Zhou Ye sent us out, and the Bai family's car had already arrived. I sat in the car, looking out the window. There were not many pedestrians on the road at this time. There were still quite a lot of cars. It was a bit of a traffic jam. I remember when I was with Bai Ningbing, I spent a lot. This time it was exceptionally quiet. Bai Ningbing didn't bother me either. Only thinking that I was actually able to predict that the Royal Pavilion Hotel's fire safety had problems. Reasonably speaking, I shouldn't know their hotel's affairs better than Zhou Ye. As for the Emerald Hall matter, he had also heard about it. Today is precisely Leo Ruan's birthday. I didn't go to accompany her, but stayed with myself all the time. Even so, in the end, I actually let Leo Ruan be so embarrassed. I really wanted to completely break up with Leo Ruan. Then what is the disappointed expression I'm showing now for? In fact, I was only sad for a little while and was no longer sad. Because I know I'm reborn now. Everything still has a possibility of starting over. As long as I don't make mistakes like in my previous life, many things are still in time. Therefore, I soon felt sleepy. Lately, being serious about school every day indeed makes one feel particularly tired. I have a feeling that I can't wake up. At this moment, I'm already sleepy. After a while, I leaned over and fell asleep on Bai Ningbing. Bai Ningbing instantly didn't dare to move. By the time we reached the Jiang house, Bai Ningbing's hand was already a bit sore. He didn't dare to change positions either, for fear of waking me up, so he could only keep this state all the time. Miss, we're here. Bai Ningbing took a look outside. Then her gaze fell on my fair face, hesitating whether to wake me up. At this time, the driver had already got out of the car first. Waiting outside, Bai Ningbing still hadn't called me. I felt the car had stopped and woke up, glancing out the window. When I realized I had returned home, only then did I raise my eyes towards Bai Ningbing. I saw her sitting there quietly, not even daring to look at me. I lightly rubbed my slightly sore neck and sat up straight. We're here, Bai Ningbing nodded. Then why didn't you call me? Seeing you sleep so soundly. When she spoke, her face always had that expressionless look. I looked at her and found her ears turning slightly red, thinking that she has always been very innocent, but I didn't expect she could be innocent to this extent. Bai Ningbing heard me call her name and looked at me. I asked her, "Are you afraid of me?" "No, but why don't you like looking at me? When you're with me, you seem to hate me." Bai Ningbing gave a light cough. "I'm just not used to being this close to people. You're the first one." I heard her words and couldn't help laughing. "Then why didn't you let me stay away from you?" Bai Ningbing heard my words, as if to prove she wasn't being led by me. She asked, "Why did you break up with Leo Ruan? Didn't you like her a lot?" At the mention of this topic, I froze for a moment, looking at the empty street ahead. Just found that I don't like her anymore. It's nothing, I'm going back. I had just walked out of the car, and just then, the gate of the Jiang house slowly opened. Father Jiang Qingming walked to the door, and as soon as I saw Dad, my eyes lit up. "Dad, you're finally back." Jiang Qingming's work was quite busy. I was almost always home by myself. There were many servants at home, but not many could manage me. Even so, even my father didn't manage me much, because he pampered me, always felt as long as I was happy. Being pampered by Dad was my most carefree days. Only in the previous life, Father advised me not to always stare at Leo Ruan. I couldn't listen. This time, seeing Father return again, at first his face was very serious, wanting to find back a bit of the prestige of being a father in front of his son. Who knew I would suddenly do this, and even cry? Jiang Qingming instantly panicked, gently patted my shoulder. "What's wrong, son? Who bullied you? Is it that stinky girl Leo Ruan? I heard you fired both of them?" I hugged Dad. "It's nothing. I just missed you. Silly boy, usually making 2 more calls to you, and you find me annoying." By the way, is that the Bai family's car? I only turned back after being mentioned by Father, seeing the Bai family's car parked at the door. Bai Ningbing had already got out of the car. My eyes were red. Being seen by her made me feel a bit embarrassed. "It was Bai Ningbing who sent me back. We went out for a meal tonight." Jiang Qingming took a look at me, appearing a bit surprised. Previously, when he told me about the engagement, I was particularly resistant, even said I could never have any relationship with Bai Ningbing. Now the two actually went out to play together. Although he didn't know what kind of stimulation his son had suffered, Jiang Qingming still said to Bai Ningbing, "Ningbing, come in and sit for a while." "Hello, Uncle Jiang. I won't go in. I'm going back for today." She glanced at me and then turned and got into the car. The Bai family's car drove away directly. Only then did I follow Father back into the house. "Did Bai Ningbing bully you?" Seeing me with red eyes, looking very aggrieved. I shook my head in denial. "No, she was quite good to me." I sat on the sofa, seeing Father always looking at me.